Alright, time to see how many questions I got. Wait, what? Why does no one love me? Before we begin this Q&A, let me address something, if you don't mind. Most of you guys watching my videos and shorts aren't even subscribed to the channel, and that is extremely questionable to say the least. If you like the content that I'm doing for you guys, why aren't you subscribed already? Subscribing and watching my videos motivates me to create more content and interact with you fellas. Isn't that what you all want? If so, then click the subscribe button right now. Thank you. With all that being said, let's get into the video. Thankfully, 3 people joined this Q&A and they all gave me multiple questions for me to answer. That's something at least, and I don't think I should be upset because this is the very first Q&A video that I'm making. Alright, let's get right into it. Questions from the Scorpion575. The first one is, did you always plan to continue making videos or were you motivated from your first successful video? That's a very good question. I actually started making videos at the end of 2019. I made some stupid random videos that I don't think I want to talk about because they were shit and they made me feel completely ashamed for creating them. To give you a small context, they were a compilation with YouTube videos with people and reviews, ranting and praising on certain movies. But the more I looked into them, the more I realized how stupid and unoriginal I was. I didn't want to be seen as a hater or a troll, and that's why I deleted them. Afterwards, I made a shitpost, which is a clip from the Mandy kill count made by the Dead Meat channel. It shows James Agenis making a mistake by having his axe fall on the floor, breaking into 2 pieces, and James's reaction was priceless. When I watched this part in the kill count video, I laughed my ass off for like 5 to 10 minutes, and I had to be the first one to clip and post it on YouTube, with the addition of subtitles for me. Then throughout the next years, this video for some reason gathered 6 million views, even more than the source material.
Ironic.
That made me happy and upset at the same time. Happy because I managed to attract a lot of attention, and upset because I feel like I'm stealing James's success from that video. I don't want to feel that way. James put a lot of effort on his video, he should have the high number of views. I don't deserve it, I put no effort on this shit post. This is why I decided that one day this video will be deleted. I don't want this to be my most popular video on the channel. I want one of these videos, or whatever videos I'm gonna do next to take that crown. I want one video that I loved making to be the most viewed on our channel. I need at least 100,000 views on one of my horror game reviews. Once I reach that number, this shitpost will be no more. With all that aside, this may sound stupid, but this shitpost is what actually motivated me to create content. I honestly thought that everyone who subscribed to my channel were gonna watch my latest videos, and I underestimated it. I didn't know what kind of content I wanted to do, so I just went with the typical trend, which is Let's Plays. My first Let's Play was Resident Evil 3 Remake, then I did Shadow of the Colossus, The Last of Us Part 2, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Resident Evil Village, Little Nightmares 2, and lately Resident Evil 4 Remake. These playthroughs, except for RE4, are still up on the channel, but they are unlisted and you can only find them in the playlist page. They aren't open for the public anymore is because I find them cringe, boring, and I'm just not very good at reacting in video games. I don't recommend watching them, unless you're curious how I used to sound like at the beginning. I figured maybe I should just give up on Let's Plays and do something else. After constantly watching one of my favorite review channels, The Sphere Hunter, she inspired me to think about making gaming reviews, because of the way she edited her videos, the way she used her commentary, and how much research she is doing on the games she reviews. She is amazing, and I would love to collaborate with her someday. However, I didn't know what games I should review for the channel at a certain time. I obviously didn't want to be a game reviewer for all video games, but after learning how many AAA and indie horror games were going to be released in the future, I decided that I'm going for the horror gaming content. I intend to play a ton of horror games in the future or the new and give them my honest thoughts on them. That's my plan for the future. The second question is, where are you from? That's a random question, but I'm curious. PS, your intro is very cool and your channel is getting better and better. Thank you so much for your compliment, it means a lot. So yeah, I'm from Romania, but I live in Netherlands. That's all I have to say. Questions from IG Official. The first question is, when did you start gaming? I actually can't recall the exact year when I was introduced to video games. I think it was between 2005 and 2008. But if we talk about becoming completely interested in video games, it was in 2011 when I first played Assassin's Creed 2. I was 12 years old when I played it. I loved that game. It was my very first 100% completed game, and I started getting interested in video games from different genres. Second question is, what was your first video game? I can't remember exactly which, since I was only 6 and 7 years old. But the one that I remember playing at that age was Disney's Hercules the video game. I have so many great memories with that game, and I remember my very first computer constantly crashing every time I opened it. It would crash after like 20 or 30 minutes, interrupting my game completely, and it annoyed the hell out of me. But anyways, Disney's Hercules is a very fun game, especially for its time. And guess what? I replayed it last year since it was randomly released on GOG.com and Steam, and I had nostalgia crawling through my body. This game took me back to my childhood, and it's hard to believe that it's been that long. I'm getting old. Fun fact though, despite having so many great memories with that game, I never watched the Hercules movie. I mean, I did see a few parts of it, but I never watched it from start to finish. I tried to watch it once, but I lost my mood completely. Movies in general just don't really do much for me, especially compared to video games. I'm not sure if I will ever make time for me to watch it, only time will tell. Third question is, what are your favorite hobbies other than gaming? I guess editing videos, does that count as a hobby? This is something I actually enjoy doing, and it's one of my goals for my future career. I want to become a huge video editor. I didn't know that editing videos was something that could appeal to me until my very first year of college. I had a course in which they would have us make 2 different videos, and I didn't know shit about how to edit a video. I did manage to pass the course after all, and that is the only course in my college period where I got the highest grade. That's one of the reasons why I started my YouTube channel. However, if my channel isn't going to work out for my future, then I might be an editor for a different YouTube channel. I want to work with someone who is very kind to me and pays me very good. So yeah, editing videos is my hobby besides video games. Fourth question is, do you plan to become a full-time content creator? I would love to. I prefer to work independently, and I want to be in charge of everything. I want to be the one who decides when I'm going to write a script, when I'm going to edit the video, and when I'm going to upload it on the channel. But the thing that I need to solve first is to get out of my fucking college and get my degree so I can have full-time focus on YouTube. Questions from Oliver3846. First question, who are your favorite characters in A Plague Tale: Innocence and Requiem? My favorite of all has to be Amicia the Rune. I don't think there was a video game character that I have ever related this much. She is lovely, she is caring, her chemistry with her brother is breathtaking, and I cannot praise Charlie McBurney's performance enough. I was kinda mad about her in the first game, but in the second game, she fucking killed it. And she's the main reason why I replayed those games so much. My other favorite character, I guess I could say Amicia's brother, Hugo. This is a character that I thought I was gonna hate, but I did not, because Hugo is a very realistic portrayal of how a little brother would act like, and I relate to him a lot, because I used to be annoying to my own sister as well when we were young, but now we grew to respect and love each other. My third favorite is Roderick. I think he was the best side character of Innocence. He had a very tragic backstory, and he was a badass taking down guards from behind. Second question, your favorite A Plague Tale moments from Innocence and Requiem? I'm gonna mention one moment from each game. My favorite moment from Innocence was Chapter 9, where Amicia was all alone infiltrating the city conquered by the Inquisition. This level has such an incredible atmosphere. You come across a lot of sad events, you learn new ways to avoid the rats, and killing these soldiers with the use of them is just amazing. Now for Requiem, I think my favorite moment was Chapter 13, where Amicia and Hugo were both on their way trying to find the Lacuna Island while being chased by the Beast and his men. One moment that stands out though is where Hugo insists on pushing his old sister on a swing. I was really upset to miss this event on my first playthrough, but once I learned its location, I always went there on each playthrough because it shows the dynamic relationship between a brother and a sister. It's just heartwarming. Third question, good King Hugo or Amicia the Amazon? I think you already know the answer, Amicia the Amazon. What is the best game you have played and became your favorite? The best game that I've ever played is easily Bloodborne. It is in fact my favorite game of all time. This was the best gift that I got on Christmas 2017. It was my very first time having a Souls experience and I enjoyed the hell out of it. The combat mechanics gave me a lot of satisfaction. I loved the gothic look of the world itself and the bosses were just menacing and cleverly designed. Fifth question, your hobbies. I already mentioned this. I love playing video games and editing videos. Last questions, still from Ollie, and he says, I also like Resident Evil games. Oh, that's nice. Which Resident Evil games do you like the most, and who's your favorite characters in Resident Evil? I'm gonna tell you my top 3 Resident Evil games. My third favorite RE game is easily Resident Evil 4 Remake. This was one of the instances where an anticipated title actually lived up to my hype, and this game delivered big time. Which is kinda funny because I wasn't even that attached to the original Resident Evil 4. I enjoyed it, but it's not like my top 3 of the franchise. My second favorite RE game is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, only for 3 reasons. Jill Valentine is a badass in this game, I love the puzzles, and Nemesis is a terrifying badass. That tyrant is easily the best one, and I think it's even better than Mr. X. Sorry, not sorry. But my favorite RE game of all time is the original Resident Evil Remake. This was my introduction to the franchise. It was completely different than what I used to play before this, and it inspired me to be even more invested into horror games. It is my second favorite game of all time, and it will always hold a special place in my heart. As for the characters, I can name 3 that I love. First is Jill Valentine. She's sassy, she's a badass, and simply just a beautiful woman. Second is Ashley Graham from Resident Evil 4 Remake. I didn't give a shit about her character in the original, and the remake made me fall in love with her so quickly. And finally, Arbor Wesker. Do I actually need to say why? I guess I can say he was easily the best part of RE5, and that's one of the reasons why I think RE5 is one of the best entries in the franchise. It also helps the fact that he was played by DC Douglas, who nailed the role in every second. It's not even a question that he's very quotable. 7th question, which are the scariest Resident Evil games? Good question. I think the Resident Evil games are only scary when you play them for the first time, but after that they become predictable during replays, and there's nothing to be scared of since you already know what's gonna happen next. I will say though, I think the ones who have the best atmosphere and best scare factor are Resident Evil 1 Remake and Resident Evil 7. Final question for today's video, which is your opinions about Resident Evil 4 Remake. P.S. I love your YouTube videos, you are amazing. Thank you for your positive feedback, Holly. As I said before, Resident Evil 4 Remake was awesome. It is my game of the year of 2023 so far, and I cannot wait for Separate Ways DLC, which is coming out this week, surprisingly. This game fixed a lot of things that I didn't like about the original Resident Evil 4. People might say, oh, it was a flawless masterpiece, you didn't need a remake, blah blah blah. There were actually more wrong things about the original than people might think. I mean, Resident Evil 4 Remake literally made Ashley Graham a likable character, and the original did no justice to her character. Even Shinji Mikami himself said he was hoping for Resident Evil 4 Remake to have a better story, and guess what? He enjoyed the game. It's fine if people prefer the original, but don't pretend like RE4 Remake did nothing better. It will make you look stupid and biased. But yeah, I love the RE4 Remake, and I cannot wait to see what's next for the franchise. Thank you guys so much for your questions and watching this video. This was a strange one though. I was actually targeted to have like 10 questions from 10 different people, but I guess I underestimated the algorithm and my subscribers, who for some reason don't bother watching my videos. Speaking of which, as I mentioned at the start, if you actually love what I'm doing with my channel, consider subscribing and I'll do whatever it takes to make content for you guys. Because of this situation, I don't think I'm going to do another Q&A very soon. I need to focus on building my audience for my intentional content. This means that I have to keep making horror game reviews and remain consistent with it. I apologize if you guys wanted to be part of this Q&A, but that's just how it is. You have to wait until I am in mood for a second part, which won't happen for this year, that's for sure. Thank you guys again for watching this video, hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Farewell.